Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name's Eric and I'm a medical student studying in Canada. Today I'm going to be sharing with you 20 lessons I learned from 2020, this roller coaster of a year as I continue through my first year of medical school. Some of them are a little cliche and overdone, but hopefully some of them will be really valuable to you and you'll be hearing them for the first time. With all of that out of the way, let's get right into the first lesson. Start right now. A really simple concept, but it's a really difficult one to actually put into practice. Whether that's starting a hobby, maybe getting started on that homework you've been neglecting, or even starting a YouTube channel. Oftentimes, the most difficult part is just getting started. For example, I've always wanted to start a YouTube channel. I've always kind of thought about it and thought it was interesting, but never really made that into a reality. Then one day I said, why not? Let's just go for it and see what happens. And it's something that I really like doing and enjoy now. And that concept doesn't just apply to YouTube. It can apply to studying too. If you're feeling lazy and not very productive that day, I find that if you just sit down and crack open that book for 10 minutes, soon you'll be really immersed and want to learn a lot more. Then you'll have a question and then want to find the answer to that. So just by starting, that original 10 minutes becomes 30 minutes and then an hour. And then suddenly you'll find that you've actually learned a lot and you've probably enjoyed doing it too. Just getting a lot done starts with just starting. And that's a really good feeling, and it's one that I really like chasing. Practice procrastination theory. Procrastination usually doesn't exist in isolation. You have your main task that you're working on, but you also have a lot of other tasks on the back burner. Procrastination theory is procrastinating your main task with your other tasks, so that you're still being productive in a different way. So imagine you have an assignment coming up soon. It's for a class you don't really enjoy, and you already know it's going to be a lot of work with a ton of research. So you're just not really in the mood to do it. It's perfectly okay to take a break, but if you want to practice procrastination theory, you could spend that time crossing something else off your to-do list. Doing things that are more enjoyable, like calling your mom, going on a run in the park, or maybe even editing a YouTube video will help energize you and help you get back to that assignment with a nice and clear head. Don't try to be interesting, be interested. For me, going to a new school was really overwhelming. There's so many amazing people and there's always this feeling that you need to impress them by being interesting and telling them about all your talents and skills. No, it's not really like that. People don't respond well to showing off and bragging. People respond well to you being interested in them. By being interested in the other person, they'll show interest in you, and that's how real connections and friendships are formed. We have to all overcome the urge to say all the things that we do and just let the conversation flow and listen to what everyone else has to say. The scary things will help you grow. Now, when I say scary things, I don't mean the physically scary things like jumping off a plane or going to a horror movie. I'm talking about the smaller things. For example, believe it or not, I'm actually pretty introverted. So when I got into med school where all of our classes are discussion-based, it was really scary for me to open up and start the discussion. Overcoming that fear helped me feel more confident and made me more of a leader within my group. I like the analogy of always chasing the horizon. If you stay close to home, you always know what's nearby and you have that feeling of safety. But you can never really see what else there is beyond your tiny little bubble. You have to get outside that zone to really grow and see who you can become, and you have to chase that horizon. Never be too busy for friends and family. So for me, right now in my first year of medical school, I already feel like there's an overwhelming amount of content that I want to keep up with and learn to maintain that perfectionist level of thinking, to know this and know that. But by doing so, you forget about the ones that are close to you, and you don't make as much time for them. It's important to slow down and remember that the ones supporting you to get into med school and the ones supporting you on this journey right now were the people that got you there in the first place. So it's important to spend a lot of time with them, especially during the busy periods. And it's okay to slow down every once in a while. The journey is more important than the destination. If there's anything you take away from this video, I really hope it's this one. The result isn't the big thing. It's the process. It's the study habits you form. It's the friendships that you make. It's the behaviors that you build, and it's the things that you learn or how you've grown and gotten better at what you do. That's the most important thing. It's the process and the journey. I know that's really cliche, but it really is all about all the skills you've acquired along the way. Consistency is king. This is something I've definitely battled with and taken a long time to get to where I'm at now. You find that motivation to work really hard for an assignment, a test, an exam, then you'll slow down. The holidays come around and you won't do much. I found towards the end of it, it's all about consistency. I would much rather study for 1 hour once a day than 4 hours twice a week. This 1 hour of habit forming becomes part of your lifestyle, and it's something that you're used to doing every day. That autopilot is really something that we should be aiming for when we try to form our habits. In his book Atomic Habits, James Clear shows the math behind consistency. By being only 1% better every single day, you actually end up being 387% better in a year. 1% never looked so good. Your phone is your best friend and your worst enemy. The first thing I see in the morning and the last thing I see at night, my phone has quickly become my source for news, entertainment, and literally anything that I need. The world has never been so accessible, yet so far away. Getting immersed in what's going on in your phone is so easy and enjoyable that other parts of your life can suffer. For example, you've been struggling to get started on studying, but now you're finally starting to feel productive when you get a text on your phone. You lose your productivity and your focus, take a 15-minute text break, and need to start all over again. Your phone can be great, but leave it out of sight and out of mind when you need to focus on something right then and right there. Have good friends in and out of university. Make sure you have a good group of people that you can rely on outside of school. What I mean by that is that when you're in medical school, you're going to meet so many talented new people, and you're definitely going to make some new lifelong friendships. And it's important not only as people that can support you and to hang out with, but also to form solid study circles with and good routines with partners that can help keep you accountable when you're slacking off during the semester, as we all know we eventually will be. The problem with just having friends in medical school is that your life can quickly collapse to just be medicine if you let it. Although it's important, medicine isn't everything in life, and it's not the end-all to be all. It's important to have hobbies and be friends with people outside of that realm to chat with and to bounce ideas off of, because they're going to think differently than you or I and offer so many insights that you never would have thought of. So it's really useful to have a solid group within and also outside of medical school at your university. Spontaneity is superb. Some of the best moments I have ever made were ones that just came out of nowhere on a whim, the meetups after class, or just doing stuff with your friends outside of school when you weren't planning to. They just become the most spontaneous and fun moments that you remember forever one day when you end up leaving medical school and looking behind you. Even the little things are going to be the ones that stick with you the best. No. I usually want to get myself so involved with everything, even if I'm not the best fit or I already have too much on my plate. Part of me just wants to get involved. And that's not always good for your health or your schedule. It's okay to say no to things that you feel like you just can't do or just don't want to do. Just because someone asks you doesn't mean that you have to do it. Now, of course, there are some nicer ways of saying no than just saying no. For example, if someone asks you to go to the movies, but you have a really big midterm coming up, it'd be frankly kind of rude to just say no. Instead, try something along the lines of, I'm really worried about a test coming up, and I want to enjoy this movie with you fully. Would it be okay to reschedule to next week? Being no and being polite aren't mutually exclusive things. If you've been struggling with a busy schedule, try saying no. No one ever criticizes someone for trying their best. So to give an example, at the start of the year, whenever I practice my patient skills and the clinical skills that I need to use during my patient interaction, I was always hesitant to be the first to raise their hand and jump in at the risk of feeling that I didn't know enough or just not wanting to look silly. But whenever I did go and try my very best and put in that effort to just try and learn and improve, my tutors and preceptors never criticized me or made fun of me. In fact, after every time I go, I always feel more confident and even proud that I tried my hardest. School is a two-way street. Your teachers want to help you succeed, but you also have to put in the effort to try your very best and be in charge of your own learning. Raise that heart rate. So this is one that's pretty obvious and something that everybody knows they should do, but it's still definitely one of the most important lessons, especially right now in the virtual setting a lot of us find ourselves in. I'm a couch potato by nature, so sitting down at your desk for the entire day on Zoom calls and studying for exams, just getting myself up and moving around really helps me feel more awake. It doesn't have to be something super active like going to the gym for 3 hours or going on a really long run, but just getting the heart rate up and the blood flowing really helps bring some life to those lazy work days. Talk less, smile more. Blatant reference from Hamilton to all my Broadway fans out there, but as Aaron Burr says, it's important to have a positive energy. People are attracted to people that are confident, enthusiastic, and just have that kind of radiant energy. Okay, easier said than done, but it's still something that you should strive for. One thing that people do is just smile. And the actual act of smiling will make you happier and put you in a good mood. And that positive energy is infectious to all aspects of your life and only snowballs on yourself. Try smiling. Say it and mean it. I know I say this to myself all the time. I'll start this assignment at 4 p.m. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. But then I'll get caught up in something and now it's 4:01. Then I'm just like, okay, I'll start at 5 instead. That's true for other parts of your life as well, like saying you'll definitely be at that event or telling yourself that, you know what, today's finally the day that I'm gonna start exercising. If you tell yourself you're gonna do something, do it. There's never been a better day than today to start. Plus, future you will thank you and really trust you if you can stick to your promises. Not everyone will like you, and that's okay. University is a time when you can especially notice how many different kinds of people there are in the world. Literally everyone is really different, and that includes you. As much as you might like it, it's impossible to make everyone happy. Because everyone is so diverse, you might do something that 99.9% of people love, but there will always be that 0.1% of people that are just hecklers, naysayers, and unsupportive. You can't win them all over. That's why it's okay to just be you. Don't be someone that tries to make everyone like them because it's literally impossible. I think you're great already. People remember how you make them feel. Whenever someone talks to me about a mutual friend, it's always, oh, she's really nice, he's really funny, or on the flip side, they were really rude. It's never, oh, he did that really stupid thing one time. The point I'm getting at is that no one will remember the things that you do or say on an everyday basis, but they will always remember when you made them laugh, smile, or just gave a good first impression. No one notices your problems as much as you. Continuing on from the last point, you're your own worst critic. That really long pause you took before you replied to a question was probably just in your head. When you think of that really embarrassing moment from 5 years ago, you're literally the only one thinking of that moment. When you say something blatantly wrong, chances are that no one noticed anyway. Don't be so hard on yourself and accept that you're only human and that you make mistakes. That's okay, and no one will notice them as much as you. Learn the things they don't teach you in school. Life skills are something that everyone uses, but they don't teach us at school. I don't remember the last time I used the quadratic formula, but I definitely remember struggling to tie my tie or iron a shirt. One channel that I've really fallen in love with for this is the channel Dad, How Do I? Kind of like a masterclass for all the skills you didn't really know you needed. These are all the things you need to look up on WikiHow when you're in a panic, and I think that these are some of the most important lessons that you need in life and some of the ones that are actually the most useful. Just live. Lastly, there's no set agenda for what your life has to be. No one's saying you have to go to university at 18, graduate at 22, be married by 25, and have a partner and 3 kids by 30. No one is saying that. You can just live your life the way that you see fit according to no one else's agenda, just what you think. Just live and don't worry about what anyone else thinks is the right path for you. That's yours to decide. So that's it for all the lessons that I've learned so far in 2020 that I'll be bringing with me all the way into 2021. I hope that you found some of them valuable, interesting, or silly, and gave you some new ideas that you never thought about. I'd love to hear more about some lessons of your own in the comments down below that you're going to apply for next year. If you guys are currently starting a new year of university, I wish you the absolute best of luck. University is a time that is amazing where you get to make new friends, learn a whole lot, and find who you are along the way. Just don't stay at home all the time like me. Get out there, be proactive, and make the best of it. If you liked the video and found the lessons useful, please throw a like on the video and subscribe to the channel if you want to see more content like this. I do lots of videos focused on medical school, studying, and productivity from a medical student's lens, so definitely stay tuned. A lot is yet to come. Anyways, thank you so much for watching, and like usual, that's been your daily dose of Medi Sun, and I'll see you in the next video.